The Chakralytics Show.
Namaste. Kundalini awakening and self-healing. In this video, I would like to share a bit of what I've been experiencing in the, last decade now. I've started experiencing symptoms in my begin 20s, and so it's been over a decade. And I would like to especially focus on the period where I felt disease and hypersensitivity, where I experienced severe hypersensitivity, and how I've been navigating this, and how I've used consciousness healing, inner work, and chakra work to navigate these symptoms and to experience a lot more freedom again, and deepen self-insight, deepen self-understanding. But because it's been over a decade, I think it's too big of a scope to tell everything, or to go deep into what I've been experiencing with this Kundalini awakening. But I just focus on that period of where I felt disease, and severe disease, I could say. And I think this video may also serve as a why, to explain a little bit why I have started with Chakralytics, the why behind it. So yes, what I would like to say is, if you have any questions that arise during this video, or on the topic of Kundalini that arise, I warmly invite you to ask them in the comments below, and it's my intention to answer these questions. And if you appreciate the content that we're creating here, I warmly invite you to like and to subscribe. So for now, I would like to dive into the topic. I've recorded this video earlier. So I've been going through a Kundalini awakening process in the last years, and it started when I was in my early 20s, but in 2017 I experienced full-blown Shaktipat, and after that the dark night of the soul, what is described as the dark night of the soul. And when someone is unprepared on Kundalini awakening, it can very well be that you experience neurological dysfunctions, neurological dysfunctionality, because there's a lot of, instead of a 10-watt lamp you're attached to, you're attached to an 100,000 watt lamp. So there's a lot of energy, you're experiencing a lot of energy shifts, and everything, your nervous system becomes far more sensitive. So it's like hypersensitivity. So it's, for you in the first years, it's to cope with this hypersensitivity, and cope with working through all these contractions, because once Kundalini is awakened, it starts to dissolve all misaligned belief systems, and all contractions, and all fears and stuck emotions. It's going to work through those. And in the beginning, well, how it felt for me was, in the beginning, it felt very disruptive. So we're now 2017, we're now in 2026, and I think over the last 2 years, it's been starting to stabilize more, or I have I've I now have found a way to, or it has unfolded in a way, in a practice for me to cope with Kundalini symptoms and to work through distortions, and even be capable of participating in life again, in setting up a business now. I do yoga every morning. I go for a run, I think twice a week. I go for daily walks, and I interact. And but in the beginning, it has been a roller coaster. I've experienced it as a roller coaster, and for me, neurological experiences like oversensitivities, like sensitivity reactions, for example, on food, severe food intolerances, or sensitivities to smells, to certain chemicals, and to certain textiles, certain clothing, and that has been a challenging experience for me at the point, but at the moment when I was going through it, and but it also really deepened my insight in self as well. So I've been going to all kinds of hospitals or hospital. I've done therapy. I've went to doctors, did hospital research, and it was very hard to pinpoint for them what was going on with me. So I had severe reactions, and also physical reactions, so real physical dysfunctioning. I felt I was 20 kilos lighter at that time, and I could only at some point lay in bed and then eat something and then lay in bed. It was felt very tired. At some point, I even turned yellow and had a lot of stomach dysfunction, and experienced a lot of stomach dysfunction, and a lot of severe stress-related symptoms as well. So it was a nervous system that was fully on, and for me, so I would also react on medication. So it wasn't. I also felt internally that this wasn't the path for me. It wasn't the path to go on medication and would have to deal with this the rest of my life, and would have to be, because it would then be something like a chronic disease called, for example, like MCAS, mast cell activation syndrome, and then you would be confined to sit on medication for the rest of your life, and just cope with it, and be on a diet, like a very strict diet. So there was a point in time that I drank like shakes, and I wasn't feeling able to eat a lot of different things. So that went very deep. And then what happened at that moment in time, I found a program called the Gupta Program. And first of all, I found a nervous system reboot program, and but that was also very much on supplement based and things. And then I grew to the Gupta Program, and I started doing that and practicing consciousness healing and working with neuroplasticity. So rewiring the brain as it seems, a brain retraining program, advanced brain retraining program, for easing down the nervous system, for releasing contractions. And I experienced like it was going like this, very deep. We were totally lost in what to do, and it seemed hopeless at that time. At that moment in time. And then once I started doing this consciousness healing, this brain retraining program from the Gupta Program, it started to get to go up again. So I started to gain weight again. I started to feel more energized, started to be able to walk again, just like little walks. And I would go into the garden, and I would get like little flowers and things that were edible, that were very good for the digestive system, apparently. And but it helped me a lot to go out again and to walk again, to be in nature and to be active, and that it was possible again, instead of laying in bed all day and hardly eating anything. So it went upwards, and at first it really took me a while to start trusting this process, start trusting the process of consciousness healing. But then it went upwards. And then at some point with the Gupta Program, I started feeling that it went up. And then at some point, I still felt some agitation with the exercises. And I felt I have to explore this further, dive deeper into this, dive deeper into consciousness healing, dive deeper into Kundalini symptoms. I started exploring a lot of different things. So Kundalini yoga by Yogi Bhajan. And it did have effects, but it wasn't what I was looking for. For me, it charged me too much at that point, and I kept researching, and I think around the same point in time, I stumbled upon a book. This book, Tantra Illuminated, by Christopher Wallace, about Kashmir Shaivism. And at the same time, I also ordered another book from written by Tara Springett. And a friend of mine had recommended it before, but at that point in time, I wasn't. I think I wasn't ready, or I didn't feel ready to explore Kundalini. I was maybe a bit afraid of Kundalini. But I started to read that book by Tara Springett that's called Healing Kundalini Symptoms, or Proven Techniques That Really Work for Healing Kundalini Symptoms. And wow, I already had the experience of the Gupta Program. And so I believe that it was, and the experience of me feeling more freely, and experiencing more freedom and energy again, and feeling revitalized. And I started practicing. Once I read the book of Tara Springett, I saw a lot of overlap with the Gupta program, but it felt more in alignment with what I was doing. And next to that, I moved away from the Gupta program to the practices of Tara Springett and higher consciousness healing, it's called. And at the same time, I started studying Kashmir Shaivism. And before that, I was studying more dualistic kind of view, more of classical yoga, of Shankya yoga. And now it agitated me, because there was a lot of good and bad, and for example, sattvic diet and what wasn't sattvic, what was pure and what was impure, and this caused a lot of tension in my system to be fully contracted and aware of what I can do, what I can't do, what is good, what is bad. And also with the chemical reactions I was experiencing, the smells and the textile of clothing and everything, because I had so much beliefs on it has to be pure and impure, and with food sensitivities as well, I was having a lot of contractions on it. And I believe that it was the cause of me reacting in that severe way, especially when Kundalini is awakened and very present. It's what you believe, according to my experience, what I believe. Well, it will very quickly manifest, or in that way. So the whole philosophy of Kashmir Shaivism is non-dualistic, and it felt like such a relief, like, everything is sacred. It's all sacred. It's all a sacred expression of the divine. And there's a beautiful, beautiful picture in the book written, and it helped me a lot. It's I don't know if you can see it. It's like from the Trika, you have the three goddesses. You have Para, Para, and Apara. And Para, well, the essence is that when we experience the dualistic nature of reality, it's called Apara. And Apara is diversity, and it looks scary. It's this. But when we realize that all is an expression of the divine Para, of the divine goddess, the supreme goddess, who is is nothing but an emanation of the nectar sweet, beautiful, soothing Para Devi. So this picture, just focusing on this picture, once we realize that Apara is in reality an emanation of Para Devi, of the supreme goddess, who is the divine nectar, everything comes unterrifying, agori, unterrifying, para. So for me, this was something I went back to many times, and this whole philosophy of seeing all as a sacred expression, and it really helped me in understanding self, and helped me in releasing these contractions, these belief systems that I had, and these fears that I had that revolved around certain diets or certain clothing, or all these kinds of thoughts that were blocking me. And I've experienced this not only on these reactions, but also in all life's different areas of experience, that there are blockages, for example, in connection, or in in Chakralytics we have 21 experiences, main themes of lived experience. But once I would dissolve these contractions, I would experience a lot more freedom, a lot more inner freedom. And now I am setting up a business with that vibration. I'm working 4 days a week, and I am running twice a week, and going for a jog. I do yoga every day. I go for walks every day. I feel a lot more energized, and sometimes when I have to work through a lot again, because life is unfolding, and you get things will appear in your experience again, and things where you hold contractions, where karma still is, where you still hold samskaras or stuck emotions, and sometimes you have to work through things, and I can experience in periods where I have to work through a lot that I feel a bit more fatigued. But once I've worked through it, I feel a lot more freedom, and the overall energy level, my overall vitality is increasing. So I feel very, very grateful, and that's what I want to share, and that's what I want to share with Chakralytics. That's what I want to share with Data Bration, and that's what I would like to explore, and to provide these tools. So the Chakra Sadhana course is a practice that I have done, that has evolved from the studying that I've done and from the experiences that I've had. And it's a practice to do every morning and every evening. And I would like to explore and invite others to explore this, and I would like to hear as well from how is this working for others. And I feel amazed by the capacity to self-heal. So I feel very, very blessed and very grateful for where I'm sitting at this point, seeing the past years and the experiences, what I've gone through. And yes, this is what I want to share, and this is what I want to express to the world. And yes, yeah. All right. Thank you for listening and watching. Bless you all on your journey, and namaste.